Okay, welcome back to another week of Up and Down with Sam. I am your host, Sam Timmer, and today we have our co-host guest, Dr. Jim Timmer, the athletic director of Calvin University.
Hey everyone.
Uh, he a little introduction on his sports background. Played three varsity sports in high school: basketball, football, baseball. He was recently inducted into the Grand Rapids Christian Sports Hall of Fame. Went on to play basketball and baseball at Calvin University. And then post his athletic career, he coached basketball and baseball at Baldwin Wallace University, and then came back, coached golf at Calvin, and is now the current athletic director at Calvin University. So we're excited to have you.
Thanks, Sam. I thought maybe you'd have it as an accomplished golfer for his age as the last part of that.
I've golfed with you too many times to know that
Yeah,
that's not a part of that.
you could have said avid, but not accomplished.
Right? Yeah, sure. Avid
Avid.
loves a good putter change too.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we're gonna jump right in. We got a lot to talk about today. Excited for this episode and ready to go. So we're gonna start off with our buzzer beaters. It's got to be number one: Seahawks win the Super Bowl. Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP, as I predicted last week. Just throwing it out there for my weekly listeners. So kind of a cool Super Bowl. What do you think? What did you think of the game?
Um, well, here's the deal. Like, yes, Kenneth Walker was the most dominant player in a kind of horrifically bad Super Bowl. Like, I mean, if I thought New England was one of the weakest teams to make it there. Sorry, Noah, up there in Boston. So, like, I think somebody has to win, and
Yeah.
this year the Seahawks give them credit. Their second one, but particularly not the. I heard from one of our coaches, it's more like a Picasso.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you appreciate it later, but your first take on that game is like, oh, you
Yeah.
know.
Not
Unless you
your
like
best watch.
unless you like defensive line play.
Yeah, I bet the defensive line coach over there, Calvin, loved it.
Oh, loved it. It's like should have been
Battle in the
MVP.
trenches.
Well, it might have
Yeah.
been that the right side or left side of the New England Patriots um, offensive line was just overwhelmed.
Yeah. Well, after the game, Witherspoon, the Seahawks DB, said that they had a tell. They had a tell that they were noticing. So they had it on film and then they knew when to blitz based on that offensive line tell.
They
So,
cheated.
wow. I
No,
mean, I
I
don't
know
know how you would
you're
phrase
gonna
that, but
yeah, they're gonna tell you that, hey, I saw the pressure on the finger and the blood goes, and it's like, hey, here's the tell. They can't run it. It's 3rd and 11. They're gonna pass.
yeah, that could have been it for
But it was,
sure.
the Super Bowl is always, more of a sometimes a lot of times it's anticlimactic. Now we've had some good ones of late, but you go back in time, there's a lot of blowouts. I mean, the Bills got blown out by the
Hmm.
Cowboys in the early 90s. And I think that it's more of a cultural piece of America than I'd ever thought we'd see it. And so and how we define legacies, I know we're going to talk a little later. How do you define legacy based off of your Super Bowl? But you will say this: you're a Super Bowl champ.
Yep.
You
Super
got
Bowl
it done. You
champ.
can't take it back.
Etched in history for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so now, second buzzer beater of the week. Lindsey Vaughn fractures leg in crash attempting downhill racing on a completely torn ACL. So pretty sad news. Like it was sad to see her like crash like that and have to be airlifted out of there again during the Olympics. Um, but pretty unbelievable. You got to give her credit for trying. I mean, pretty unbelievable story.
Yeah, I mean she's a fantastic athlete. It's so different now in the new era Olympics where, before, they would have that opportunity when they're 23, 24, 25, and they'd have to get on with their lives. And now with sponsorships and that it's basically for professional
Hmm.
athletics and Olympics to hold on. And, I give her a lot of credit to climb that hill again, no pun
Hmm.
intended, of
Yep.
being in shape and ready to go. I give her credit. There's a part of me that thinks you're trying to do with an ACL, torn ACL, and she says, "Well, it didn't impact your crash," and you're like, Well, then it was a really bad crash. I would have said, yeah, my knee
Yeah.
gave out and I smoked. Otherwise, it's like,
Yeah.
man, 30 seconds to race. I hit the first gate and broke my tibia, for
Yeah.
goodness sake. Supposedly that's a very painful injury. I don't,
That's
it's
what
on
I
the
hear.
scale of that scale of 1 to 10. What's your pain level?
Hmm.
8, 9, you know,
Yeah. Can't imagine it feels good. That's for sure.
but I mean,
Um,
she is one of those, um, people that they're willing to risk, and I think that the elite athletes are willing to risk sometimes what finishing 23rd in a downhill race aren't, and so you got to go to the edge, and she went to the edge even at 41, and there's no holding back. She wasn't there to win
mhm.
bronze,
Right.
so
She was going for it. And speaking of elite athletes who push it, Matthew Stafford earlier this week wins the NFL regular season MVP. This has kind of been a part of his transition to the Rams from his long years at Detroit. So Super Bowl champ now, MVP with the Rams. And that's kind of going to bring us into overtime. So we're going to say the buzzer beater was to tie. We're going to go to overtime on this one. Where does Matthew Stafford rank all time? That's the question.
statistically, he's going to be up there in a whole bunch of stats, right? I mean, I can only imagine. He's chucked it a lot. I mean, he's a gunslinger. He's
Hmm.
so you give him credit for that. He's still got a rocket arm. Um, all time, boy, early in his career he was like glass jaw Stafford, right? He was hurt quite a bit.
Hmm.
Then he's learned to protect himself either by sliding the protection either way or getting on better teams is another way to
Right.
protect
That
yourself.
that could be one thing.
I don't know, name 10 better ones.
Well, I'm going with top 10. I think he's number 10, right there at that 10 spot. I got like you got Tom Brady, Montana, I think are 1 and 2. Manning comes in there. Then you got Breeze, Rogers, I think's in there. I mean, I'm a Packer guy, but I think he's
Yeah,
right at that 5 spot. Favre is in there. So
6.
that's 6. So what do you, I mean, I got him top 10. I got him at 10, and I'll tell you why. And then
Well,
you can think,
you didn't get all the way through the list because is Roger
well, I
Staubach on your list? Roger Staubach on your list?
no, not in there.
Bart Starr on your list?
Debatable, not top 10 though.
So it's recency bias. Like, so when they used to be able to hold
Well,
receivers off the line
listen,
and those guys had to throw it into like windows like this tight.
they played in an era of, you want to talk about trenches and a D line coach loving a game. They played
Those
in an
guys
era of
called
running.
they called all their own plays. They had an
Yeah,
offensive
but
coordinator. They had an
the
offensive
plays were
coordinator.
a lot less complex. It was here, run out, or here, run 5 yards and turn. I'll throw it to you. It was a little more backyard football. I'm
Dan
going to give you
Fouts. Hey, let me give you some other ones that you missed.
okay.
Dan
Elway.
Fouts.
I was thinking Elway might be in there.
Dan Fouts.
Yeah, no.
You missed the best quarterback that the quarterbacks would tell you. You missed the best one that the
Who?
quarterbacks would tell you. And I think his career is comparable
The
to
Stafford.
Matt Stafford. Who am I going to tell you is comparable to Matt Stafford? Now Matt's got
You're going to tell me Dan Marino.
absolutely
Yeah.
quick release, great
Listen,
arm,
this is my
quarterback's
thing with
quarterback.
this is my thing with Dan. He was like teetering on that line of knocking Stafford out the top 10, but he never won. He never won the Super Bowl. What?
He did. He didn't. He revolutionized the game.
Stafford, I know he revolutionized. I get it. That's why, like, you got some other names in there, like Terry Bradshaw. Like, is Terry Bradshaw top 10? A
For
lot would say
sure.
yes. So he
For
can have a
sure.
spot. That puts us at 7. That I'll agree with
Okay,
you.
but Sam, here's the thing. Marino gets dinged because he didn't win a Super Bowl,
Right.
but Bradshaw gets no credit for winning.
Again, a little different era, maybe. Just throwing that out there.
A lot of recency
Lot,
bias here.
that might be true, but I'm going to read you some Stafford stats, okay?
Lamar Jackson?
No, not
No.
even close.
I'll keep it.
Maybe
Eli?
Mahomes. No.
Eli?
Mm-mm.
Mahomes?
Eli was
The worst quarterback to be a multiple quarter winner?
correct. That's what I was thinking in my head. Couldn't
Phil
get it
Simms
out.
not bad.
All right.
Drew Bledsoe.
64,000 yards, 64,516 yards, sixth all time. 423 touchdowns, seventh all time, and only 2 back of sixth. Okay, I think it's Philip Rivers. Then you
He's
get
not
into
bad.
my argument is going to be based on clutchness. Okay, so when you look at Matthew Stafford in the clutch, 39 fourth quarter comebacks in the regular season, that's fourth all time, behind only Tom Brady, Eli Manning, and Ben Roethlisberger. Okay,
Oh, here's another one. Ben Roethlisberger.
you can't get me with Ben. Eye test on Ben. I got the eye test on Ben. 50 regular season game-winning drives.
Tarkenton.
That's fifth all time.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Super Bowl champ, MVP, obviously elite arm talent. Your eye test is like, wow, he's one of the best. He's had some brutal rosters in terms of his Lions days. Constant coaching turnover. He made them at least watchable for a lot of his years there. So I give him credit for that. He finally gets his chance to go to a good team. And what does he do? Super Bowl, MVP. He played in the NFC Championship this year. I mean, he's one of the few quarterbacks with a 5,000-yard season. That's what I got for you. I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer for sure. I would say first ballot. And I think he's right in that 10 spot.
It goes to what you want in a quarterback. So like the 39 comeback wins, right? If you throw an interception with a minute 40 to go that you shouldn't have thrown, they return it for 6. And I think a lot of Lions fans now are saying, "Yep, Timmer, you're right." Older Timmer, you're right. And then you lead a field goal to win. Your interception prior to that. So I would have to break down those 39, and his playoff history is mixed, I would say, right? And so I'm looking at the total thing, and so I'll give you 11. And I don't even know who 9 and 10 is, but I'll give you 11.
All right.
If he wins another Super Bowl, he's definitely in the top 10.
All right. I'll take 11. I'll take 11.
All
One
right.
off my mark.
All right. Don't give in so easy.
I just think it's the clutch. Like when you talk about wanting someone in a quarterback, I mean, would you not want someone who has 50 regular season game-winning drives? I mean, fifth all time. Again, behind Brady, Manning, Big Ben, and Drew Brees. I mean, you talk about top quarterbacks of all time. He's an elite company there. And I just think it's sad. It's sad because he was suppressed in Detroit.
Okay, let me ask you this though, Sam. Like you're giving credit right now for longevity, right? So you are. So if you factor that in, that's part of like 64,000 yards, 39. Like he's just played a lot more games, right? Andrew Luck was really good. Really good. Like so when you say the best quarterback, is Barry Sanders the best running back?
I mean, they would argue that, yes.
With who else you got? You like Frank Gore because he's got more yards than Barry Sanders?
I wouldn't say that. No.
Well, I'm using your same argument.
Saying. Yeah, I maybe a little bit of longevity. He can throw a good ball. I mean, it's kind of funny. Joe Flacco, by the way, talk about a guy longevity. He can still throw the rock. He might not throw it to the right team all the time, but he can throw the rock. That was just a little intermission. Back to Stafford.
A little Delaware blue hand. Got to get the Northeast in there somehow. Same football helmets as Michigan, by the way.
Really?
Delaware Blue Hens. Look it up.
But I'm going with Stafford at 10. I am. I'm keeping him there. I'm not going to take 11. But
I'll send you my list later.
All right. All right. Now moving into our ups and downs of the weeks. Some want to call it stripes and shanks, still in production.
All right.
But my up/stripe of the week. I'm going with Chris Goddard. Plays the long game. He comes out on fire on Thursday, shoots 8 under, takes a 2-stroke lead, then kind of dwindles a little bit. Over the next 2 days, Sunday comes out, fires 64, 7 under, and then drains the long birdie putt on the playoff hole to claim his second title of the year, PGA Tour title of the year, and beats Hideki. And I just think you got to give him credit. I mean, he's really come out hot this year. I mean, like I said, two wins already.
Yeah, he played well in the fall, like the second half of last year, Rutgers guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he, I think you see this time and time again. Like the thing that more you want to know about Gutterup is he going to be one of those guys that is he Hunter Mahan? Like I don't know if you know that name, right? So hot for a while,
Right.
right? I'm trying to think of some other guys that were like on fire, and then is he a 10 win major type guy? That's his next step, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because you've seen over years, guys get hot at a certain point in their career, and horses for courses, they play the courses they like. And
Mm-hmm.
I always think it's interesting, Sam. This would be interesting as a golfer. I think when the guy wins his first one or kind of secures his playing card, they play a little more loose and free, right? When you're
Mm-hmm.
grinding on that 120 or that 125, now
Right.
100 line. So I think he's dangerous to watch, hits it a ton, hits it a long
Mm-hmm.
way. I mean, the other part of that story is Hideki couldn't keep it on planet Earth and got
My
himself in the
shank.
playoff. Oh my
That's my
goodness.
down and my shank. Perfect intro.
Yeah.
The Hideki meltdown. First bogey of the round, by the way.
Yeah.
Loses in the playoff hole after he hits it in the water off the tee, which just added to his tee shot disaster. He was 3 for 14 on fairways with the day. And then, yeah, obviously whacks it in the water. What a mess.
Well,
Um,
and here's my thing. Like you can call it a down. He's a two-time champion of that tournament, and I look at it and go, well, it's a down in the fact that he gave up his first 54-hole lead ever.
mhm.
I also can say it's up the incredible grit to get it to 18. And then I do feel bad. Some of the distractions out there. I think the
Yeah, saw
blimp
that
threw
video.
the blimp went across. I don't know if he backed off that, but now I think he backed off because of yelling. And it's not like that's a dry campus over there at PGA
Right.
Scottsdale. It's not Calvin University over there. I'm going to tell you that. So that's disappointing, but $1.4 million later, a second place finish is not that big a deal. But where he is in his career, I think wins is what he's trying to pile up
Yeah.
and put on a putting display. And it
Yeah.
looked like old school blade, which is like no one puts with a blade anymore. I'm like,
Mhm.
with the toe up. I was
Oh
like, hey,
yeah.
Hideki, go
Hands
get that
low.
thing fitted. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hands low, toe up.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a question. Well, first of all, speaking on the distractions point. So the report is, well, one of the reports, there was one yell, and then he stepped off in the playoff hole because a security guard dropped a chair in his backswing. That's a report, like a fold up chair. The security guard dropped. I mean, come on. Like, what are we doing?
The security guard, or are you mad at him for backing off? You got to be a little
I'm
tougher
mad
than
at the
that.
security guard. I mean, a chair right in his backswing?
Hey, look, I play a lot of golf now. I'm telling you, we're the public golf course I play, man. You might as well be playing on live. I got country music going on one pass card of me, and I got hip hop going on the other, with both groups shooting 180 with music on. I've learned to block out a chair snapping.
Well, that brings me to my next point. Would you rather be at the waste management just because the energy, 16, 17's got water, 18's got water in the pew bunkers? Would you rather be in Goddard's position of chasing one birdie to get to a playoff? Or would you rather be Hideki trying to hold it together with all that energy coming down the stretch?
I always want the lead. I always
All
want
right.
the lead. Birdies are hard. So
Mm-hmm.
you thought that, right? What I thought you were going to ask me is if you're his caddy, at what point do you say like, "Hey, do we got to iron off the tee here?" Or like, what are you thinking? Or like, how do you suggest to him like, "Hey, what are you aiming at?" And he'd probably say, "Earth,
Yeah. Dry land.
dry
Dry land.
land."
That's what
Like,
I'm rooting for here.
yeah, just blow it
It's
way right. So the caddy who got him around ought to get his 10% for a
yeah,
win.
100%. Last thing I'll say on that is it's also tough because your guys are trying to hold it together. You want to be like, hey, Hideki, your driver sucks. Can you just stop hitting it? Like, just a down on the confidence level. Um,
Yeah, you'd have to learn how to phrase that better. Like, man, you striped that 3-wood. I love that 3-wood.
yeah, you'd have to like try and subconsciously convince him to
Or
hit the
break
three
it.
wood instead,
Or
or
tin cup
break the
it, break
driver.
it.
That would be an all-time story. Breaking Hideki's driver after hole like 12,
Yeah.
being like, "You're done hitting this.
You're
We're
done
trying to win
hitting
this
this.
tournament."
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. All
Or
right,
take out that
switching.
little adjuster and start adjusting it. Say
Well,
what
then you can't. Then you can't use it.
rules. Again,
Rules,
rules.
rules. You don't play with
Golf.
rules. You don't play with rules when you play.
No, I
Anything
play
that helps.
e- e-
Screwdriver, different ball, doesn't
absolutely.
matter.
Play that potpourri. Exactly. I tell you,
That's
Sam, there's golf and there's competitive golf. There's two different
true.
sports. I
Very
play the
true.
first.
All right, switching gears a little bit off the golf. It's back to a little bit of the Super Bowl. For my stripe or my up, I got Sam Darnold legacy. I mean, your third overall pick, you get run out of town in New York. You bounce around, Panthers, back up in San Fran, end up with the Vikings, right? They draft JJ. JJ gets hurt. Has an unbelievable season, 14 wins with the Vikings, loses in the first round. And then what was the narrative? The narrative was it's back to Sam Darnold. He can't win a big game, right? Like he might give you a good record, but he's not going to win the playoffs. Then we'll talk about the Vikings front office, but goes to Seattle, right? Again, 14 wins, clinches the first seed, plays great in these playoff games. I really think he did. I mean, even in the Super Bowl, I would make the argument he could have been Super Bowl MVP. Because what was the difference in that game? Turnovers, right? Two major turnovers from the Patriots. One was a fumble six or pick six, whatever it was. And I think that just, kills the game, especially in the defensive battle. But no turnovers, over 200 yards, threw a passing touchdown. I mean, I think his legacy just got absolutely boosted. What do you think?
Have you ever heard of the name Trent Dilfer before?
I've heard the name.
So Trent Dilfer won a championship. Fresno State, he played in college, won a championship, is largely considered the worst quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Now, there's some arguments out there. Jeff Hostetler from the Giants when he had to play Phil Simms. But Trent Hostetler, with the Ray Lewis led Baltimore Ravens win, right? And first, you give Sam Darnold all the credit in the world because I would have taken my signing bonus and retired like Barry Sanders after my Jets experience, but hung in there. And I think sometimes it's quarterback and offensive coordinator fit, it's quarterback and defense fit, complementary football. So I think he played his role very, very well. He'd be a really interesting case. I'd like to talk to the coaches. Like, you went 14-3 with them, and you went, "Yeah, I'll pass." And that's the Vikings, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Man, does the dude just have? Is he a terrible practice? Like,
I don't know.
I mean,
Seems like a good guy.
like
He seems like a good guy.
Yeah, it's one of those guys like after, you know, 9 teams in 15 years, you're going to hear stories about like, he didn't, that would be my question. I get the Jets. You can't really count the Jets on any decision making, so just wipe that off, right? And my good friends Greeny would and Rich Eisen would appreciate that. But Vikings front office cost the guy his job,
Yeah.
But the question I have back to you, because I know we're going to talk about that, is like, did the guy cost his job that he got rid of Sam Darnold, or did he put his faith in JJ? I mean, which one is it?
Cost him his job? Yeah. Oof, that's tough. I mean, yeah, moving into our down or our shank, I got the Jets fan base because you can't even blame the Jets front office. Like, they're just poor. It's a poorly run organization. You got to feel bad for the fan base. And then the Vikings front office. And to be honest, I think he got fired because he let Sam Darnold go. I think Sam Darnold has put himself in the top 10 tier 1 quarterbacks in the NFL. That's where I think he lands now. I know you're shaking your head, but I really do. I mean, the guy balled. All through the playoffs.
There's some bad. I have to. I mean, you go top 10, of course, there's only that means he's 67%, right? He's 1/3 of the quarter, right?
Top third. Yeah. Elite tier.
Boy, it's a bad time for football quarterbacks. I mean, who do you got? I mean, you want him or Tua?
Oh, him for sure. I would.
I'm trying to think of the
Here you
quarterbacks
go.
out there.
I'll give you one. I would take Sam Darnold right now
Or
over
Jordan Love.
Joe Burrow. No, I wouldn't take him over Jordan Love. I'd take him over Joe Burrow.
And you'd be fired the next year.
No, because I'm winning a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's out in Cancun looking at his below 500 season.
Okay, but Sam, it's not flag football. Like, I mean, there's other people on the foot. Here's my thing about JJ over Sam. What you want to know, the inside scoop, the 30 for 30 is did he think he had Aaron Rodgers signed? He let Sam Darnold go, and he ends up holding JJ McCarthy and going, I'm gonna get fired. Goes home to his wife, like, this isn't going well.
This is over. This is over. Well, that brings us to our next thing is we need a mulligan on this one, I think. I think if you're the Vikings front office, if you could go back, you keep Sam Darnold. But back to your point, there was rumblings about Aaron Rodgers, who would be obviously a great bridge guy. And the other guy that people forget about, Daniel Jones, was in that quarterback room. Daniel Jones leaves, goes to the Colts, has a phenomenal season until he gets hurt, unfortunately. But, like, you look at those three quarterbacks, and if I'm ownership and I look at those three quarterbacks, and then I look over to my GM, I say, pack your bags, head home. Like, sorry, you totally swung and missed.
Yeah, I think it's quarterbacks are easy because no one knows. Like if I asked you to name 10 offensive linemen that weren't Packers, you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I do think the quarterbacks get too much credit and too much blame. And then of course the person picking the quarterback gets too much credit and too much blame. So I don't know what other quarterbacks were out there. I probably would have held steady. But again, you're also dealing with salary cap issues. You don't know like how much do you want to invest there if you have more invested in. I mean, they paid JJ, not JJ Jefferson,
Yeah,
Justin Jefferson. They paid him. They backed up the Brinks truck for him. And it's like, well, great. You're a really rich wide receiver with JJ. Good luck. Have some fun with that. Right. And I think it's the jury's still out on JJ because could we be back here in 5 years? Hopefully you're still not at Calvin because I know your parents were, but could we have the Sam Up and Down podcast and say, look at JJ's great story. He gets released by the Vikings and the Packers pick him up. And then Jordan Love.
We're locked in on Jordan Love.
Jordan Love flames out and JJ leads the Packers to a championship. You'd be like, can you believe the Vikings ownership fired their GM for picking JJ, right? And so, it's all. I've lived a lot longer than you, so you see some of this come around, goes around.
Yeah, I mean, that brings me to my next point. Let's say you're the GM of a football team.
Yeah.
We're going to go with the Sam Darnold, JJ McCarthy scenario, but we're saying who are my Sam Darnold? So what are the quarterbacks that you would have taken over JJ and said, you know what, we're going to get rid of this guy. He's young. We think he's good. That's why we drafted him at 10 overall, I think, right? And we're just going to get rid of him before we even give him a chance. Who are those quarterbacks that you would get rid of? And I can start us off. Because I've been thinking about this a lot. I got 19 quarterbacks. I'm going to read you the names, okay?
Okay.
We got Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Drake May, Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, Bo Nix, Cam Ward, and Matthew Stafford. Those are my guys. Those are my 19 guys that if I have JJ, just drafted him, hasn't seen the field, I say, sorry, we're shipping you off. Those are my 19.
You got to Trevor Lawrence, and that's when I started losing interest. So anybody after Trevor Lawrence, probably I might have shipped him off.
Wow.
But right, so Brock Purdy's in there.
Yeah.
I love Brock Purdy. Not too many interceptions of late, but the dude's
Yeah.
5'11". What a story.
Hmm.
Yeah. Who does that leave? That like Malik Willis and Teddy
Well, I
Bridgewater?
listen. I got some maybes. These are my maybes for you. Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, Bryce Young, Malik Willis, and Tyler Shaw.
I'm taking JJ over all those guys. And
I got two that I would debate more heavily. Bryce Young, I gotta say it. I know he's had a rocky start, but he is. I mean, brought the Panthers to the playoffs this year.
yeah, I heard some report and probably Adam Schefter through this person. So this is like a fifth hand inside NFL insider that he processes really fast and he blew away all the mental acuity testing that they had. And I'm like,
Smart guy.
yeah, he's 129 pounds and I don't know if he has enough arm angles to actually produce a 4,000-yard season, but again, how you want to play it. No, I'll give you. I think Trevor Lawrence is overrated.
Ooh. Listen, I was on that train 100% until this year. He finally got a good coach, a good match, which again I think plays into how big of a deal offense coordinator coaching and quarterback match is. Like you look at a guy like Caleb Williams, everyone was like, "Wow, this guy stinks," and then they bring in Ben Johnson. And I still think he stinks personally. I mean, he's like a 50% completion guy, but he definitely had a better season.
So he's 50%, but he would be the equivalent of a 3-point shooter who has a lower shooting percentage. Analytically, he chucks it. Let's go,
Right.
Caleb, right? And so it's like his percentage is gonna be lower. Like the Lions had their fair share of guys that can complete 75% of their passes for 111 yards with a QBR of 58.
Listen,
Chuck it down the field.
Jared Goff was not in my 19. Would you agree with that? Would you take Jared Goff as a Lions fan or JJ?
Well,
Right
I'm
now.
taking Jared Goff. I'm taking Jared Goff about. Give me your. I got Jared Goff like third.
Oh my goodness.
No, I gotta have an listen. I gotta have an
That's the
offensive
worst
line.
take. This podcast is fresh, but that's the worst take yet. Jared Goff is a third quarterback.
Well, give me your list. I'll tell you to stop when I think he should be placed in there.
Okay, Patrick Mahomes.
Slower now.
This is what?
Slower.
Okay, I'll go slower. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. Then you get into Lamar Jackson.
Good Goff.
There's no way. I haven't.
Give me some other ones.
Justin Herbert.
Goff.
Drake May.
I like Drake.
All right.
Drake can move, but
so we're taking three.
His decision making was a little off Sunday.
Jared Goff can be two.
Too much social media attention to his wife. That got him
Jordan
off.
Love.
Coin flip.
Jordan Love. I just thrown it out there. Top 5 in the league. Then you get like Joe Burrow.
I like Joe Burrow too.
See, Jared Goff is definitely not third.
Yeah, but because I have to go, who?
Prescott. Dak Prescott.
Jared Goff.
I could see that one a little more, but still, I'm not a Jared Goff guy.
You don't say.
I'm just saying, third might go down as one of the tougher takes. I'll give you a chance to revise.
He is a couple plays away from being 2-time MVP and Super Bowl. I mean, San Francisco, the implosion that year, and then last year, yeah, they got destroyed in the playoffs, but he could have been MVP. Like, he's pretty good. He's number 1 draft pick, Cal Berkeley guy.
You want to talk about the most all-time game manager needs everything around him. That's Jared Goff. I mean, think about it. Ben Johnson leaves his guru, 9-8. Not
Jared
that
Goff
great of a
got
year.
to the Jared Goff got to the Super Bowl well before Sam.
And scored
he had a good
3 points.
What's that?
He scored 3 points.
So he got there. I mean, Jordan.
Wow.
Let's see how many Jordan Love appearances I got. I'm counting. Yeah.
Listen, no, don't go knocking Jordan Love. He hasn't missed the playoffs as a starting quarterback. How about that stat for you?
Yeah. He's still on that. All right. Give me your next.
All right, here we go. Second, we need a mulligan. You're a sports administration guy, right?
That's what they tell
Give
me.
me that's what they pay you for. Give
Yeah.
me if you could go back and be in charge of the college football playoff, how would you have set it up originally? Like, and this is what it's going to be moving forward. Like, this is your college football playoff. What do you got?
Well, two things. One, the NCAA already runs playoffs. Right? Division III, Division II, FCS, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So they know how to run it. I mean, it's just you can bracket things, but are people willing to give up? See, I don't think you can fix the bracket until you fix the regular season, right? And so that they kind of go to back and forth, and you start thinking about, because I think you have to back it up. I think they want to be done in that January 1 to 5 window.
Right.
And I think, you gotta, so I think that's one thing. So if I had principals, I would want to get it done before January. Because I think that helps with the timing of all their other stuff with the transfer portal and all that, on all that jazz. But I don't think more than 12. I'd probably have 16. I don't think everything else is going to be a money grab. Now, right. That's if you're going to keep a 11, 12, 13 game regular season, then you're going to go to 16. If you want to go down to, 11 games, then I think you can add in there. And I know what you're going to say. Well, we got to protect the number one seeds and all that kind of stuff. You give everyone, the 8 teams, the top 8 seeds a playing game. The 8, 9 games, your feature game that weekend, right? 1-16. I don't reserve anything I just rank them. I don't have the G5 in there. It's like, if you're good enough, you're good enough. If you're not, you're not. And have 16 best teams in there, home playoff games at 8, go to the bowl games 1 week. And then, I'd probably eliminate the conference championships, because you're going to see, mark my words, you're going to see people opting out, other than the fact that the Big Ten and the SEC count on that for some more money in their coffers. But man, it's not a money problem. It's a spending problem for those colleges. Like Rutgers, $63 million, and you overspend your budget by $78 million.
Yeah.
So, that's, of course, they're all playing about 5 coaches buyouts. So, I'd probably 16. So my principal is Sam would be 16. They would be 16 before, and get it playoffs done before. I certainly wouldn't be influenced by the Poulan Weed Eater Bowl. Like, they'll get what they get, give them Central Michigan and the Delaware Blue Hens, and off we go.
Right.
The LaFleur Flacco Bowl, somewhere in there. So that's what I do, but I might go back and change how I do the regular season as well.
Right. All right. Well, I'm only prepared for the playoff. Okay. So for me, I'm going 8 teams. You got to play in a conference. So that's my first main point. Notre Dame, sorry, got to join a conference. You get 2 auto bids, and I'm giving them for the 2 best conference champions. I'm keeping the conference championship.
SEC, Big Ten.
Right, exactly. That's my point. No more mid-major, no more Tulanes, no more James Madison, none of that. Don't need that. All right? Then we get a play-in game between the 8 and the 9, because that's always the debate, right? Who's going to get the last spot? So we're just going to let them play for it. That will go on so there's going to be conference championships and then a bye week. That 8-9 game will be in that bye week. So if you're an 8 or 9 seed, you don't get a bye. You got to play. I mean, I guess if you're not in the conference championship, you get a bye, but you got to play, right? And then that following week, we start up with 1-8, like a regular bracket, and you just play 3 straight weeks. Like, I'm so sick of the play a game on a Wednesday. And then the next time we see Miami, like this year, they played Ohio State on Wednesday. Next time we see Miami, it's like Saturday, a week and a half later. Like, what? Or the national championship is like it's like a 2 week bye. I'm like, what's going on?
So I'll speak as an athletic administrator, right? The chance to how you like you play on a Saturday and you win and you have to turn around and you have to play the next Saturday in another town. You got to get hotels, you got to get planes. And I know they got charter planes and all that kind of stuff. There's a ton of logistics that go in there. The NFL, I get it, but there's one of those teams is a home team. So if you're going to have the home teams host all the way until the finals, I think you have a better shot. Like they do in the NFL, right?
Right.
It's all that and then lead up and then have that 2 weeks. I think they have to make better use of the Thanksgiving weekend,
Hmm.
right? And so, if you pushed it back, and I've told you this before, if they push it back to week 0 and they start like August 30, those guys are there all summer anyway. And then you can play, eliminate the conference tournament in that first weekend to your thing. You could play on
Right.
that Thanksgiving
A little
weekend, and
play in.
well, you could own Friday, Saturday as the NFL owns Thursday and Sunday that
Right.
week. You own Friday, Saturday, huge television ratings. You go in and the next week you play. Um, you know, or you could even then go to the bowl games at that point, and then 1 week later. I didn't mind when they had the bowl games, and then 1 week later they had the 1 and 2 play.
Hmm.
Like the January 7th, you're still in the
Right.
semester break for most
Yeah.
colleges, and you can kind of work around exams. I mean, and here I am talking about the scholar athlete part of it, and like that has to be
Yeah.
taken into consideration if you're still going to at least fake like they're
Right.
associated with
But
college.
yeah, and I
I don't
think
know why I faked it. I just say fake.
right. I think if you get rid of all like the weeks in between and the extra days and all that stuff, you also run into like you're hoping to get it done before the transfer portal opens. Because like when a guy has to leave his team, they're in the like the semifinals. Just think that's ridiculous. Same
Well,
thing with the coaching cycle.
but I understand. You understand though, Sam. You're a college student,
Yeah.
right? So you understand that you eventually have to enroll. Now, I get the old Clemson LSU thing. The guy just was in class and then left the next day. But even
Right.
that, right? Here that you can go a week to school and then still drop out and get your money back. But colleges are just like you know, I get really frustrated when I watch a lot of pundits and they start talking about the transfer portal and that it's got to be changed and the calendar has to be changed. I'm like, well, it's attached to a college.
Yeah, it's
Like,
true.
if
But that's
if
why
that ruse could just be eliminated, let's do OTAs in early April and you just go
right.
whatever team you want to go to. It's like, well, I'm
Well,
in school. No, you're not.
that's why I think you line it up with the semester and get rid of some of those extra weeks. Like semester ends, college football championships like that weekend, then bang, transfer portal opens and they can go
Yeah,
in that Christmas break.
yeah. And those other people control the transfer portal, but I think we're agreeing on the same
Yeah,
thing. Like, just get it done as soon as you can in January.
a hundred
For
percent.
sure. And then your
I'm
college basketball takes over on campuses.
right, and I'm all in by the way for home playoff games. Make the first two rounds home playoff, national championship. They can play that wherever they want, make their money. But the home atmosphere for a college football playoff game would be awesome.
And and then the other thing we can't solve in the time is like you got to figure out from the group of five or the G4 down or G5 down, can they have their own playoff? Because I want programming and I want
Right.
home playoff games. Like the only time you watch Montana State, which is a big rivalry, now that was air quoted, right? Is when when there's nothing else on,
Right.
right? My
Yep.
Lobos, my Lobos get a little bit of love when you're like, hey, there's nothing else on. I'll watch the Lobos.
Well, West Coast. They're playing a little later at night. They're like your late night, get me to bed type game.
Yeah,
Your Lobos. That's funny.
yeah. Good
Um,
football and basketball this year, so don't sleep on them.
I
I
know
think
they're
they just,
playing.
I think they just blew their chance for the NCAA. They lost to Boise State the other night, and
Yeah, that's a
as an
tough
alumni,
loss.
I'm upset. My
Yeah.
NIL money donation is going down the drain.
Yeah,
That $5
seriously.
just went down to two.
For next year, they got to earn your $3 back.
Exactly. Don't come
Uh,
calling.
that's classic. All right, next segment you're not going to like as much. Go Pack on the go. This is kind of my little rundown on what we got. And this week, big topic, Romeo Dobbs. Bring him back or let him walk. So this is, on all my Packer fan pages, this is a big debate. And I think the question becomes, is he a number one? And like, as much as I like him and we drafted him and the whole deal, I just don't think you can say he's a number one. And then it becomes, well, you have a packed wide receiver room. If you're not going to be the number one, then we got a guy who can do just the same on his rookie deal, right? And so the market right now is 14 to 20 million per year is about what he's looking for. His highest career season was 724 yards.
What did he make last year?
For a contract?
Yeah.
He was still on he made like 3.4 or something like that. But
I'll give him 4.
And when you look at the Packers receiving room, right? You got Tucker Kraft as the number one option as the tight end. He was hurt this year, but he's a dog. He's like the second coming of George Kittle.
I would say, I thought you were going to say second coming of Sam Laporta, but I get that.
No.
Okay.
And then I think Watson is the best receiver. I think you saw a little flash of golden in that playoff game. I think he's coming around. So I think he's going to take that Romeo Doubs spot. And then you got Jaden Reed for your slot guy with your zone against the zone defense. And those are the guys, I think. And I think it's sad to see a Packer go, especially one that you rooted for. But, he dropped that onside kick. That kind of put the nail in that coffin for me. Yeah, let him walk. So that's what I got on him. Let him walk.
I'm with you.
And then last segment of the day, we got moving day. So this is our pick segment. So you got to make a pick. In this case, it's a bold prediction. So as we get to the end of the college basketball season, which is, it's not super close, but it's getting there.
A month away.
Yeah. What is your bold prediction for March Madness?
That a Big Ten team will win for the first time since the 2000 Michigan State Club. I think that's right, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's Michigan State's the last team to win it. So that's a bold prediction.
That is bold. So who, if you had to pick, who is it? Who are your guys that can do it? What are your teams that can do it?
Well, I think that list is smaller now around the country, and I think the Big Ten has, half of them maybe. I don't know. I mean, you got Michigan, Nebraska, Michigan State. I'm not sold on Nebraska. I think they're going to fade, but they had a good win at Rutgers after a week. I don't think Purdue's there, but Purdue could be one of those teams that like Seattle Seahawks them way into a championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just use Seahawks as a verb. I get that, but I think and Illinois is really good. So you got Illinois, Michigan State, Michigan State, and Purdue. What is that? 5 there?
Yeah, it's 5.
Did I have Nebraska in that group? Nebraska, Michigan State, Illinois, Purdue.
Yeah.
Right.
Those are your 5.
Right. And then you think about like, who else do you like in the country? Duke, Arizona.
I think Duke's fraudulent. Shout out Marzolino.
Okay.
I think Duke's fraudulent. I think they're I'm going with Sweet 16 exit.
Right. So I'm saying, what teams can win it?
Yeah, I think you got Arizona.
So if there's 10 teams that can win it, and you think 5 of them are the Big Ten, I'm an old school guy, but analytics helps me out there. I mean,
right. You got the betting favorite for the conference.
You like Florida? You think we're under appreciating the SEC, right? I mean, Florida. You like Arkansas? You like Kentucky?
I like Kansas. Kansas had a big win last night, beat Arizona. But here, I'll give you mine because we haven't talked about it yet. The Big East busts everybody's brackets. Let me tell you why. So Big East, you got a physical, ugly, like beat 'em up type conference. Half court execution has been the huge thing this year. Like all these teams, like if you watch UConn, they get over half court and then Ball sits in the corner, dribbles, and waits for the play to get set. And I think that can be utilized a lot in March Madness. So here are my 3 teams. 3 teams that make the Sweet 16. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
2 of them will advance to the Elite Eight. UConn, I think they're an Elite Eight Final Four team. St. John's, I think they're an Elite Eight team. And Villanova is going to be the bracket buster because they're going to be an 8 seed, 8 or 9 seed, maybe 7 if they get lucky.
And get beat by Indiana or Creighton on the 8-9 game.
No, they're going to win, and then they're going to go and knock off.
And Creighton's a Big East team. They would play in the first round.
They're going to knock off a 1 seed or a 2 seed in that second round, in the round of 32 to make it to the Sweet 16. That's what I'm going with. I think the Big East will be the bracket busters. Everyone's going to be like, what happened? Because we're staring at Villanova, St. John's, and UConn in the Sweet 16.
So, Sam, we are divided by our regional differences. And, you know, I don't see any Duncan, or I don't see, like, you know.
Well, they got no Duncan out here in Grand Rapids.
Well, I'm just saying, so you're like, oh, Big East. I'm like, who you beat? Marquette? They're terrible. Villanova's terrible. Creighton's terrible. Like,
I'll throw you a team.
Yeah.
Seton Hall. They play a tough game. Seton Hall and Providence. Those are some tough places to go and play.
Hey, I'll give you Seton Hall if you can tell me who was the coach when they were in the finals against Michigan in 1987.
Oh, 87. I got no chance. 87.
Glenn Rice, PJ Carmeslo. I think it's something like that. PJ.
Yeah, I got no idea.
Best coach ever at Villanova. Jay Wright, probably, but Rollie Massimino.
I was going to say Jay Wright, but there's no way he was coaching Seton Hall.
No, 1980. The Big East time was in the late 80s. So I was growing up, right? Patrick Munoz, John Thompson at Georgetown, Boeheim at Syracuse, Rollie Massimino in 84 wins it. You got Chris Mullin, the best left-handed shooter in the history of basketball. Boy, I want to have to figure that out. He might be. Somebody older than my dad's age would have to know who's better. The best left-handed shooter of all time. That's an interesting question.
You want to talk about a Mullins? Let me give you a Mullins. Braylon Mullins on UConn. Kid can ball. Watch out. March Madness. He's going to be the kid everyone's talking about. He shoots the lights out.
One shining moment. All right. I'll be watching.
But yeah, so, and to be honest, we talk about national championship teams. I got 4 teams who can win it. 5. I'll give 5.
You
Michigan,
just gave me 3. Oh, you said all Sweet 16. I get it.
Yeah, those are Sweet 16. Michigan.
Nope.
UConn can win it. Arizona can win it. And then I think Kansas can win it. And I think Houston can win it. Those are my 5. I think if you pick anybody else, your bracket stinks.
Gal, watching Houston play it. You know what I want to see? If I'm the NCAA, I get a Houston, Michigan State Sweet 16. It's a wrestling match.
I was about to say it's going to be 38-42.
Oh, and a lot of people will love it. Like, don't even have a shot clock. Let's just throw it back.
Hey, speaking of Michigan State, now that you brought it up, as an athletic director, what do we got to say about Fear's behavior on the court lately?
So as an athletic director, I say people in glass houses don't throw stones. It's really tough. Yeah. I like, you know, I'm not probably discussion offline as an athletic director. Even if I'm a Division III, I'm not throwing stones at another person's story or whatever. You know, so it's one of those things. Competitiveness is just a really weird thing, and how you wear it, you know. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, I didn't wear it very well. You know, I was a little crybaby myself. I'm not saying he's a crybaby.
Right.
I was a little bit more. I let my frustrations get to me. A lot. So I get it. So I let Tom Izzo. I think he knows the guy's heart. So I'm going to stay with that, even though I have you know what it looks like, but
right.
Because as soon as I say something, one of our players will do something. Yeah. At Olivet tomorrow night, and I'll be like, oh.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll go with you on Tom Izzo. You gotta
Let
trust
him have it.
Izzo.
Let him handle it.
He's got it handled.
Yeah.
So I'll stick with that on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all I got. That's all I got. Thanks for coming on.
Well, Sam,
Really appreciate it.
was great. I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. Anytime.
Yeah, for sure. We loved having you. Thanks to all the viewers who are listening. Excited to get this one out and looking forward to next week.